with a twisted glee. A horror host like you've never seen. He'll take you on a ride of fear and sadness. Dr. Acid's Midnight Madness.
You're invited to my party in the house on Haunted Hill, where so far the ghosts have murdered only 7 people. So won't you come and make it 8? You'll see human heads without bodies. Mysterious pools of blood dripping from the ceiling. The walls move slowly in against you. Don't try to escape, you can't. Dear?
Yes, damn you.
The ghosts are waiting, so won't you join me in the house on Haunted Hill? Hurry, or you'll be late for your own funeral.
Happy midnight, everyone! My name is Dr. Acid, and I am the host with the most voices in the set. Actually, hold on a second. Let me turn my electro chamber off. That electro chamber was great. It actually stops the process of aging, but you may or may not wake up. Anyhow, my name is Dr. Von Acid. Tonight's movie is completely traumatizing and horrific. If you are susceptible to violence, gore, and psychological trauma, then I implore you to please turn this feed off now. You do not want to see this movie. If you do, you will not sleep. It's that horrifying. Also, if you are under the age of 18, I also ask you to please turn this video off now. With that said, a quick introduction around the room. My name is Dr. Von Acid. I am the host of the most voices in the set. I've got about 5 current conversations going on at any given time. Let's see, we've got Nurse Noxious behind the camera. She may or may not make an appearance for this show. She made her first appearance at last show. And a little bit of information about Nurse Noxious, because some of the fans have been asking. She is technically and clinically dead. My assistant, Jackanapes, this right there, Jackanapes, half man, half monkey. I made it myself, my contribution to science. We got the peanut gallery in the back. Yeah. I still have no idea who these guys are. I mean, they're here when I sleep, and when I wake up, they're still here. So I think technically there's waters. Yeah. From this way, I'm very excited to introduce to you The world's fastest supercomputer, operating at 4,000 megs of RAM, the B4000, also known as the Nightmare Machine. Say hello, B. I'm doing good. How are you doing? Now, B takes care of all the live aspects of the show. If you want to join the live feed, the Facebook chat, go ahead and tell, sorry. Go ahead and tell me that you want to join the live feed. If you want to join us on the ADR, thank you. You go ahead and crank that up. That's okay. If you want to join the ADR, come right this way. Alternate dimension receiver. This operates the parallel universe or the parallel plane of existence. If you would like to jump on and become part of the show, by all means, go ahead and click the link in the description and we'll get you on the show. With that said, the B4000, can you print out tonight's description of the movie?
Sure. Hold on a second.
Wait. All right. Now, B4000, he is permanently ingrained into the fear zone. He searches the fear zone for the strongest transmission, and the strongest transmission that shows up is the movie that we watch.
Well, technically that's the second strongest one, but the first strongest one is Pornhub.
Wow.
This is number 2.
Yes.
Strong 2.
We do not want to watch that. All right. Tonight's movie, an ominous man with a large amount of dubious money
Dubious? What dubious?
offers a lump sum to 5 strangers who agree to be locked in an overnight phantom-filled mansion. Very scary. Nurse Noxious, take us to the first scene of the movie.
Started moving.
The ghosts are moving tonight, restless, hungry. May I introduce myself? I'm Watson Pritchard. In just a minute, I'll show you the only really haunted house in the world. Since it was built a century ago, 7 people, including my brother, have been murdered in it. Since then, I've owned the house. I've only spent 1 night there, and when they found me in the morning, I was almost dead.
I'm Frederick Lauren, and I've rented the house on Haunted Hill tonight so that my wife can give a party. A haunted house party. She's so amusing. There'll be food and drink and ghosts, and perhaps even a few murders. You're all invited. If any of you will spend the next 12 hours in this house, I'll give you each $10,000, or your next of kin in case you don't survive. But here come our other guests. It was my wife's idea to have our guests come in funeral cars. She's so amusing. Her sense of humor is, shall we say, original. I dreamed up the hearse. It's empty now, but after a night in the house on Haunted Hill, who knows? This is Lance Schroeder, a test pilot, so no doubt a brave man. But don't you think you can be much braver if you're paid for it? And I happen to know that Lance needs the $10,000 I'll give him, if he's brave enough to stay all night. This is Ruth Bridges. You've no doubt read her column in the newspapers. She says her reason for coming to the party is to write a feature article on ghosts. She's also desperate for money, gambles. You've already met Watson Pritchard, a man living in mortal fear of a house, and yet he is risking his life to spend another night here. I wonder why. He says for money. This is Dr. David Trent, a psychiatrist. He claims that my ghost will help his work on hysteria. But don't you see a little touch of greed there, around the mouth and eyes? This is Nora Manning. I picked her from the thousands of people who work for me because she needed the $10,000 more than most. Supports her whole family. Isn't she pretty? The party's starting now, and you have until midnight to find the house on Haunted Hill.
Alright, tonight's concoction for the movie is a semblance of snake. That's what I'm making.
Oh man, it sounds delicious.
Yes, the semblance of snake is going to be a potion, an elixir. And once it's made, I'll dry it into a capsule form. And then if you ever get stuck inside like a jail cell or a cave or something or anything, you take this capsule and it gives you the powers of a snake.
Cool. A
Yeah.
trouser snake?
A what snake?
Trouser?
No, not a trouser snake. A real snake. don't know if you can see this here. Okay, so the first concoction, the first part of this, is we're going to call upon the powers of the fire snake. I know. The powers of the fire snake is 1 part baking soda, and do not try this at home. I know. And of course, this may or may not work, but it's a thought that counts. Okay, 1 part baking soda, 4 parts sugar.
That's propane, Doctor. You're using our propane.
Just ignore everything that the B4000
Why are you wasting all our sugar?
He does not possess the filter module that allows for conducive discussion. All right.
How high are we gonna get? Enough for all the hookers.
Of course, this is strictly for scientific reasons and experimentation. So you take this concoction and you mix it up. Make sure it's all mixed.
Are we cutting the coke with baking soda?
Now, we're adding the flame accelerant.
Oh, I know this is. Pure DNA. Don't waste it. Oh my god, what is this?
Yeah, 2 parts of flame accelerant
40.
to the mix.
I don't want to run it back.
And we're going to call upon the powers of the fire snake.
Oh boy.
This concoction, once it's done, once it makes into a potion, and once it's into capsule form, will be highly sought after.
Oh yeah.
Because you will possess the powers of a snake. And the powers of a snake, as many people know, are slithering, being able to climb up walls, being able to get out tight holes. Alright, and you gotta form the eye of the snake. And now we like this. And this was the beginning of our potion. And absolutely, kids, do not do this at home.
Holy shit, look at that, folks.
Yes?
Should I turn the fire sprinklers off first, Doctor?
No, it's absolutely fine.
Okay.
And in a few minutes, this will call upon the powers of the fire snake, and the snake will grow to 8, 9, 10 inches tall. And we'll take that and we'll add it to our mixture. So while this grows, Nurse Noxious take us to the next part of this traumatizing, horrific movie.
Oh boy.
Take us away, Nurse Noxious.
Movie. You got some marshmallows, Doctor?
I do not.
Well, where is everybody?
It isn't a very warm welcome, is it?
Only the ghosts in this house are glad we're here.
Are we all strangers to each other? Don't you two know each other?
I'm afraid I don't even know your name.
I'm Nora Manning.
Lance Schroeder.
Is Frederick Lauren a friend of yours?
I've heard of him, but I've never met him.
I work for one of his companies, but I've never seen him.
I've never met the man either. Just a phone call. Do you know him?
No,
Well, then you're the only one of us who does.
I don't know him. All the details about running the house were done by mail.
He's quite wealthy, isn't he?
Millions.
And 5 wives, I believe.
4, I think, so far.
A $50,000 party for only 5 people is a little steep, even for a millionaire.
Well, if I were going to haunt anybody, this would certainly be the house I'd do it in.
Who closed the door?
This thing's made of solid steel.
guests are here, and fortunately still alive. Is your face on yet?
Dust and dirt everywhere, and the water barely trickles. Couldn't you have had the place cleaned?
Atmosphere, darling. You know how ghosts are. They never tidy up. And that's a very fetching outfit, but hardly suitable for a party.
I'm not going to the party.
The spend-the-night ghost party was your idea, remember? Since it's going to cost me $50,000, I want you to have fun.
The party was my idea until you invited all the guests. Why all these strangers? Why none of our friends?
Friends? Do we have any friends?
No, your jealousy took care of that.
I had a reason for inviting each guest. I wanted kind of a cross-section. From psychiatrist to typist, and from drunk to jet pilot. They share one thing. They all need money. Now let's see if they're brave enough to earn it.
And you call this a party?
Could be.
Why do you always do that? It spoils the champagne.
It might explode.
Never does.
Would you guarantee that?
That isn't funny, Frederick.
Make a good headline. Playboy kills wife with champagne cork. Will you join me?
No, thank you.
Just a sip might improve your humor.
My humor is fine, thanks. And I haven't poisoned it.
It's always good to know that. Have some. You'll enjoy the party more. Go on.
Your trust is so touching. And I'm not going to the party.
Of all my wives, you're the least agreeable.
But still alive.
Would you go away for $1 million and tax-free? You want it all, don't you?
I deserve it all. Your jealousy isn't tax-free, and your possessiveness is maddening.
If ever a man had grounds for divorce,
But can't prove them.
the time will come. You'll slip up one of these days,
Think so?
if I live long enough. You remember the fun we had when you poisoned me?
Something you ate, the doctor said.
Yes, arsenic on the rocks. Annabelle, you'd do it again if you thought you could get away with it, wouldn't you?
Darling, what makes you think that?
Something about you. I hear that hanging is very uncomfortable, in case you get any more ideas. Don't let the ghosts and the ghouls disturb you, darling.
Darling, the only ghoul in the house is you.
And don't sit up all night thinking of ways to get rid of me. It makes wrinkles.
This is what she used on my brother and her sister. Hacked them to pieces. We found parts of the bodies all over the house, in places you wouldn't think. The funny thing is the heads have never been found. Hands and feet and things like that. But no heads.
The wife, probably in a rage, threatened her husband with a knife and then, carried away by hysteria, took a swing at him and simply went on from there.
She certainly went on. How many people did she kill, Mr. Pritchard?
Only two. Her husband and her sister. No one else was here.
So there are two loose heads just floating around in here somewhere?
You can hear them at night. They whisper to each other and then cry.
Since our host isn't here, would anyone care to mix me a drink?
All right. I see the fire snake has made a very nice size. Yeah, very outstanding. All right, so this is a big black snake, yes. Calling upon the powers of the fire snake. All right, so as you see, you did not need. This is not going to fish. This is one of the disintegrating my hands. Okay, so the part, you are going to take and mix in our friendship. Wow. Okay, so we'll add that to it. Alright, that is the power of the fire snake. We do need to add a little bit of personal touch to every antidote, to every elixir. That's the secret of success. It's a little bit of personal touch. All right. Apparently, I can't write this with one hand.
Well, I help you, Doctor, but I have no hands. There you go.
Do not try this at home, lady. No. This is going to be the part that we add to the potion. All right. That is a description of the movie. That gives it just a little bit of personal touch there. That should be it. All right. One of the greatest things about doing this show is receiving fan mail.
I thought it was all the blowjobs.
Hey. Just ignore the before passing. Come this way, there's notches. And let's see. Well, I was looking for a knife. A knife, actually. But that's okay. All right. Fan, oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Wow, that is sharp. This fan hill is from Tim. Let's see. All right. Very excited to see what our fans have to say. So, Dr. Acid, I want to have your children. Yours forever, Tim. Tim, if you're watching, I'm very flattered. But actually, 76 years old might be a little bit too old for you. And that's because of the electro chamber. Electro chamber is a great invention that I made. Process of aging. But, Tim, keep your eye out for that special person, and when you least expect it, they will show up. Okay, so this is from, there's no return address. Let's see what this says. Oh, wow. What? Oh. Well, I'm not too sure, but I think that is incorrect. Dr. Aston, let me just go on record, did not shoot lights. I don't know how Brian knows that. But thanks for watching, Brian. Anyhow, this fan mail says, Dear Mr. Aston, my name is Jeremy and I'm 7 years old. Mom says I can't watch the show. But I told her to get her butt back in the... Oh my. Why am I on? I think you should add some hot girls and some cleavage. Cleavage and Kleenex. You know what I'm talking about. Jeremy, let me just say that I appreciate the letter that you wrote. And absolutely... Oh, let's go to the movie! That's our call it. That's our side. You go ahead and go to the next part of your career.
Sorry, Doctor. I jumped the gun. I'm not shooting blanks either.
Certainly. What will you have?
Good evening. I'm your host, Frederick Lauren. Since we're all strangers to each other, let's get acquainted with a drink, shall we?
Mr. Lauren, I advise you to call this party off now. The ghosts are already moving, and that's a bad sign.
Let me apologize for my wife. She'll join us later. What do you have?
Scotch and.
Doctor?
I'll have the same.
Now, before the party begins, let's go over the details. The caretakers will leave at midnight, locking us in here until they come back in the morning. Once the door is locked, there's no way out. The windows have bars that a jail would be proud of, and the only door to the outside locks like a vault. There's no electricity, no phone, no one within miles, so no way to call for help.
Like a coffin.
So if any of you decide not to stay for the party, you must let me know before midnight. Of course, if you leave, I shan't be able to pay you anything.
I'm interested in your reasons for this, party. Aside from the pleasant company.
Ghosts, Doctor. I think everyone wonders what they would do if they saw a ghost. And now my wife has given us all the opportunity to find out.
Amusing. Ghosts, etc., being only creations of hysteria, your party should be a success.
Well, Pritchard here promises us genuine ghosts.
7 now. Maybe more before morning.
That's cheerful.
4 men have been murdered in this house. And 3 women.
You planned your party very well, Mr. Loren. 4 of us are men, 3 are women. Well, a ghost for everybody.
Well, Pritchard, why don't you take us on a tour through the house and let's see what happens, huh?
See that stain? Blood. A young girl was killed here. And whatever got her wasn't human. Don't stand there.
What do you mean? Where?
It's too late. They've marked you.
Ridiculous. The roof probably leaks.
Oh, that must be what it is. Who would want to haunt me?
I would say any self-respecting male ghost.
I hope it doesn't come back.
Well, Mr. Pritchard, you're the life of the party.
He hasn't even started yet. Wasn't there a man who threw his wife into a wine vat or something?
That was in the cellar. There's been a murder almost every place in this house. All this belonged to a Mr. Norton, who didn't die here. He was electrocuted later. Mr. Norton did a good deal of experimenting with wines, but his wife didn't think it was any good. So he filled the vat with acid and threw her in. She was supposed to stay down, but the bones came up. It's a funny thing. But none of the murders here were just ordinary. Just shooting or stabbing. They've all been sort of wild, violent, and different.
Look out!
God, she didn't fall in.
You mean there's still acid in there?
Destroys everything with hair and flesh. Just leaves the bones. My, it's dry and dusty down here.
Well, there's a cure for that upstairs. Come on.
Wow. I am completely amazed that you made it through that movie. That was completely nightmarish. It was horrific. How many people died? I don't know. But congratulations for making it. All right. Join us tomorrow night. And with that, I will see you next time. Good night.
Late night creeping, shadows on the block. Dr. Acid flare in, knocking at the clock. Skulls in the hallway, candle wax drip. Rules on the telly, twisted acid trip.
Dr. Acid's midnight madness. Gaze upon the screens, macabre sadness. Nurse noxious by his side, so vicious. Nightmare machine, twisted and malicious. Rolling in, madness contagious. Yet folk dance, so outrageous.
Syringes filled with plasma, iris wide. Behind the screen, they can't run or hide.
Dr. Acid's midnight madness. Gaze upon the screens, macabre sadness. Nurse noxious by his side, so vicious. Nightmare machine, twisted and malicious.
Fog rolling in, madness contagious. Dead folk dance, so outrageous. Syringes filled with plasma, iris wide. Behind the screen, they can't run or hide.
Fog rolling in, madness contagious. Dead folk dance, so outrageous. Syringes filled with plasma, iris wide. Behind the screen, they can't run or hide. Dr. Acid's midnight madness. Gaze upon the screens, macabre sadness. Nurse noxious by his side, so vicious. Nightmare machine, twisted and malicious. Haunted vibes buzz from the screen. Poltergeist descends to the scene. Noxious spins the wheel again. Spineless souls drowning in pain. Lurking in the dark shadows sway. Graveyard ambiance, they don't play. Bats and spiders, dooms to light. Noxious laugh, sweet death's delight.
Like your body, fur crawling in, bingo. Like you rusted from the blood, yeah. Like a bat the blood in your pocket. You rusted from the road with powder, powder, the bloody now.